Everyone, you are here watching Rob's MetalWorks, and tonight we are downtown in support of the Dark Roots of Thrash 2 tour here at the historic Aztec Theater. It brings me great pleasure to welcome one of the most distinctive voices, legendary voice of thrash metal out of the Bay Area. Have the man, Mr. Steve ZETRO Souza. How you doing, sir? Great to see you.
What's up, brother? Great to be here. What's up? What's up, metalheads? How are you?
We were already having a good time before the camera was rolling.
It's all right. We'll continue to have a good time after it's over with.
Thanks, Zet, for hanging with us, man. There's so many things that I want to talk to you about. Okay,
cool, well,
but we got the
time.
Okay, good. The first thing people want to know is when people first found out that Zet was back in the band. Even before that, even before Exodus got the Breaking Band's management deal, there was already like conversations or news stories. You had talked about fans always telling you, Zet, man, we miss you in the band. So when Breaking Bands became, were part of the management of the band, and you officially came back, I was like, this had kind of been, correct me if I'm wrong, had it kind of been brewing or building up to that?
I don't think it was building up to that. I don't think it was expected at all. The band had full intentions of recording the album with Rob, full intentions of that. So, and what happened in that point of time, I really have never made myself privy to that information. There really was nothing that was really important to me. I was going to join the band and we were going to move forward. And actually, it was more the band's decision. It wasn't Breaking Band's management. The management contacted me and they laid out the guidelines of, what I was going to do, and basically all they had come at me and said, we'd like to hear you audition 2 songs. Right. And I was like, why? Well, we can't tell you that right now, and so this is just, are you interested? Would you like to come in and sing 2 new songs? And that's where it started. And then basically the band had to make the decision, about if they liked what they heard or not, and it wasn't up to management at all.
Well, I think to the pleasure of a lot of fans, okay, because you were the vocalist of Exodus for quite some time, and those records that you did, even Temple of the Damned, when you came back into Temple of the Damned, I was a huge fan of that record. Rick and I were jamming into it right before we walked in here. I mean, it seems like the ZETRO era was something that the fans really wanted back, and I kind of feel maybe if it wasn't said that you have to appease the fans to a certain bit if you want to continue the success of a band,
I think the way that it kind of came to a close in 2004 with myself and the band had a lot to do with it. It wasn't the best way to handle it, and I take full responsibility for that. I was going through a lot of different things at that time, and I felt that I had to just kind of pull the parachute and get out, and so it wasn't really the way to do it at the time, and I think that carried over for a little bit of bitterness towards that, and I think that might have had something to do about it. But on the other hand, Rob was doing fine with the band. The band was cruising right along with Rob, so whatever happened between him and those guys, to decide on, wanting to audition me at that point, there was something, there must have been something a lot deeper, obviously.
You bring something, I think you mentioned something really quick that's very important, and that's that you have to have good relations with your bandmates.
Definitely.
And it kind of seems like Steve ZETRO Souza is in a new place now. What changed, or what kind of awakening did you have, or maybe it's this stage in life that you're at? What's different now between Souza today and back in the day, maybe when things weren't so great?
Okay, well, I had 3 little kids at that time, and now they're grown up and gone. I was married to their mother, who was not really a supporter of this. So she never stood in my corner, basically. She was like ready to throw in the towel always. And I'm with a woman now who loves what I do and loves the fact and supports this completely. And so I basically don't have anybody but myself to take care of. And I love it. It's like I'm rejuvenated, and I'm a kid in a candy store again, going to these gigs and playing shows, and I love being on tour, and it's a whole new excitement for me. So I would have to say 180 degrees change of what my attitude was like. I was miserable, and a miserable person makes a rotten bandmate, because it takes however 5, 4, however many's in your band, to make that machine work. And if one guy doesn't really want to be there and is only there because the other guys need to be there, you know what I mean, it doesn't make it fun for anyone. And I know that now. And so they're having fun now. We all are.
Did you ever think it would happen?
No, I felt that, let's face it, it was nasty in the internet back and forth. It was really nasty, you know what I mean? So we're not naive to that, and we understand that. And I think that's the best part, as we can put that aside, and we both, we all looked at it and said, for whatever it's worth, whatever was said and done, whatever we said, it's behind us. Let's move forward. Everything is behind us. That's why I never really delved into, well, what happened. I just, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go forward with this, and so I think it's better for everyone that way as well.
Cool, man. Well, I want to speak for everybody here at the program. We're all happy you're back. Thank you. Because Blood In Blood Out is a kick-ass record. When I first heard the record, I was like, oh shit, ZETRO's back. ZETRO's back.
Thank you. It was a very well-written record, and when I first heard it, I was like, wow, I get to sing on this, because I only wrote one song lyrically along with Jack and Lee. We wrote Body Harvest one day in the studio, and so other than that, I didn't pen. It was Gary who wrote most of the lyrics and most of the music. I think Lee wrote Honor Killings, the music and lyrics both, but everything else was written by Holt. So, and I'm 51, and I joined the band when I was 21, wow. So I know what they want. I've done. My history with Exodus is that I understand what we're doing here. I know what this is all about. I know what vocal approach to take. I know what he's looking for. So there's very few fixes in the studio.
And that's because you know these dudes.
Well, exactly.
You know Gary.
Exactly. I've written music and played music and toured with music all over the world with that, man. I mean, this is it's not like your guitar player. It's a brotherhood. I know his family knows my family. I know his children, he knows mine. You know what I mean? It's like we're in this, for more than just bandmates, I guess.
So you recorded the record, okay? Exodus got a new management deal with Breaking Bands, and the record debuted on the Billboard number 38. Holy crap. I mean, all good thing. I mean, it kind of seems like good energy breeds good results.
Yeah, I think that it's, again, a good combination of great performances by 4 other guys who are really into their craft and are masters of their craft, especially one of them, and we know that who he is. He's a master. He is a master. And then just everybody's performance and dedication to this, and I think the songs are well written. When I finished the record, I would go online, Senator. I would go, in interviews and say, I think it's the best Exodus record ever. Oh yeah, Zet. Well, it's your return. You have to say that. And then Blood In Blood Out came out, and a lot of people's opinion was like, wow, he's kind of right, because every song kicks ass on this record, and a lot of people have said that back. So it's not just the return. It's just it's the album where I don't fast forward through the songs to get to the next song, and there's Exodus records where I'll do that, Yep. Wow, I think I'm going to skip over that and get to Cage in Hell, you know what I mean? That kind of thing, and I don't do that with Blood In, Blood Out, so that's why, to me, it's my favorite.
And also, one of the most brutal, heavy, fast Exodus records, and for the wide acceptance that this record has received. What is that? What do you feel about what's happening in our metal community across the country?
I think that bands are still delivering. Look at our genre alone. Our genre alone has got, Overkill put out a great record last year as well. Yep. The last Anthrax record was probably the best one in years. Megadeth, Testament's last couple of records killed. Every band that you go through that has kind of resurged since maybe the mid-2000s in a hard way. Death Angel, great record. People are putting out good stuff, so I think that us being big fans of the genre itself is what keeps it alive.
And representing the start of thrash in the Bay.
Yeah.
You guys are the innovators, the fathers and now the grandfathers of thrash metal. I hate to say, but it's true. 30 years into the career.
Exactly. We're almost great grandfathers of thrash metal, as you say that. But it's good to be considered the innovator of a sound, and I think while you're still, it's not like the same old stuff. I mean, the music is definitely more complex, more brutal, longer songs. Lyrics are definitely more, meaningful. It's not just kicking your face and raping you, murder your wife. Although we do love that.
Yeah, we love the pleasures of the flesh.
We do love that, but
yeah.
But I think it's a little bit more, you know, thought, you know, worthy. It definitely, there's a lot more thought process goes into lyrical writing, and I think the riffs are way brutal. Gary and Lee to me are the ultimate tandem in thrash metal. I mean, they both play amazing lead and both play amazing rhythms, you know.
Like a fine wine, getting better and better.
Always, that's what's great.
Okay, so now we're 30 years in. The intensity's not slowing down. You know, you just mentioned, hey, I already cracked 50. Is it harder for you to get out there on stage and thrash out?
No, I don't think so. I don't think about it. I just go and do it. The music moves you. The music moves you the same way, right? Mm-hmm. It's nothing that's fake. As soon as I hear it, it's gonna make you want to, you know, bang your damn head. Exactly. And when it starts, it's just like, let's go, and it's just like, you know, and kind of like a game, you know, and the clock's ticking, and here we go, we're in the game, and we're playing to score, we're playing to win. And
your fans too. I mean, your fans have gotten older. Okay, your fans have kind of matured from these angst teens, thrasher, killer guys, and now some of these people are professionals or their fathers, and they're making money. They can come out and spend a lot of money at your shows.
Love that. Yeah. But also, they're introducing their children to it too. And I mean, we've been doing the meet and greets, and I remember on one of the Slayer, we went to a Slayer and Suicidal, one of our meet and greets, we had a grandfather, father, son come down, so 3 generations of Exodus fans coming down. It was great, and I noticed all over the world in other places in like South America or wherever, it's just been kids, I mean 25, 30, you know, so I think the music still holds its test of time because it's still very raw and very brutal, you know.
And then they're going back and listening to the older records.
Oh, sure, definitely. Yeah, definitely. That's what I love. I've noticed in the front rows lately, it's been a lot of young guys. I mean, I'll call out to the old school every night. I always do. But I mean, it's like, and there's a lot of them there. There really is, and that's great that they support us. But they're bringing the youngs ones with them. We love it.
Cool. So you're on the Dark Roots of Thrash 2 tour with Testament. I think much has been said about this tour because, especially, I think maybe some of the young fans who are going to watch this interview around the world may not know the history between Chuck Billy and Steve ZETRO Souza, where you were, you know, the singer of Legacy, left to join Exodus, then kind of, in a way, launched the career of Chuck Billy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, Chuck and I are really good friends. We grew up in the same town, Dublin Death Patrol, obviously, and he was singing in another band called Guilt, and I told him, hey, you should go try out, and he was like, thrash metal, because this band he was singing in was more power metal. They weren't like, you know, and I said, so try it out, and he went in there, and then I wrote I wrote almost all the lyrics on the Legacy album, so he came in, and I kind of rehearsed with him. It wasn't a bad split. It was really cool with those guys. So I went in rehearsals for a couple of weeks and showed him how I approached it, and then he picked it up, and Chuck Billy's legend.
Wow. And now, you know, you guys are, you know, I've seen, you know, interviews that you guys do and have discussed kind of this long relationship and kind of where you're at now. It's kind of seems like, you know, everybody's kind of coming full circle, even with Kirk, you know, playing a solo on the record.
Yeah, well, having Chuck in the management worked out really well because he was on the backup vocals plus the vocal that he does at the end of BTK with myself. But Kirk's been, you know, a band's fan, you know, friend for years, and him and Gary had just hooked up recently over the last few years. Gary playing in Slayer and Kirk playing them, doing the Big Four, and they're like 17-year-old kids now. So I guess during a dinner in 2013 and Christmas time, they were like, hey, you want to play in the new Exodus? I'm writing the new Exodus, and Kirk was like, yeah. So it worked out really well, and the lead in Salt the Wound really complements both the leads, and so I love it. I think it's awesome.
I think I read a quote that Kirk put out, and something like, Gary and I we're still competing when we're jamming on Exodus records.
Oh, you should see those two. We played Comic-Con last year, and in July we played Kirk's party, the Fear Fest party, and those two are up there just kind of like bumping into each other, like, look at my riff, you know what I mean? It's great. So that's great. The mentality is still there. We're still having fun doing it, you know, and that's what it's all about.
And there's enough success for everybody.
I think so. Look at it. It's doing really well. Sure there is. Everybody's doing fine. And you know what? I think the mentality has changed, that everybody's willing to work with each other and help each other. I mean, Testament and Exodus would never happen in the 80s, you know what I mean? We would have done it ourselves and they would have done it themselves. Now it's like, let's do it together and make it awesome.
Killer, man. Well, now that you're on this tour just started April 1st. I think tonight's the 5th date of the 5th show. So what's it been like, you know, seeing the fans kind of come together? I mean, this tour has been very successful thus far.
They're really receptive and they're really thankful, and it was crazy. First night I was in San Francisco, our home, and it was just like typical Bay Area, just going off. And then the next night was in LA, sold out at the House of Blues, and they were going off too. So I'd have to say everybody's been really, really excited. Albuquerque, I mean, crazy.
You see any blood on the stage?
I haven't seen the blood yet, but they're coming over the wall, and sometimes I'm just like, ooh, you know, ooh. No, I mean, no, they come over from the crowd, into the pit, and sometimes they don't time it where somebody catches them, and they dump into the hole head first sometimes, and I'm just looking at them going, ooh.
I'm going to be with the old guys in the back drinking beer.
Well, yeah, and I'll be with the old guys on stage making the mayhem up. I'll never be in there. Are you kidding me?
Okay, so as we get to the near of this interview, Zet, I want to talk about a couple things. One is, you know, this tour will wrap up at the end of April. I know that you're doing a few select dates, just you guys and Testament. Yep. What is the plan after that? Does Exodus have any other plans?
We go over with Testament to Europe on May 16th, and
will it still be called the Dark?
Yeah, there are dates on there that are Dark Roots of Thrash dates on there as well. But we also are doing stuff by ourselves, and they're doing stuff by themselves as well.
Are you gearing up for any summer festivals?
We're on all of them. Yeah. We're all over them. That's what we're doing over there.
So you'll be busy this whole year.
Rock, Hellfest. Yeah, we're on everything. So yeah, we'll be really busy.
Cool.
There's Tom. Say hi,
Tom, take a shot at Tom. Tom, don't leave. I want you to sign my poster. So, as we end out, you know, even before your reunion with Exodus at this juncture, you were doing a band called Hatriot.
Yep, that's me, and a guitar player is a really brilliant kid. His name's Costa Varvatakis, Costa V, and then my son Cody is the bass player, and my son Nick is the drummer. We have another guitar player. His name's Justin Sakagawa. We've gone through a million of those, but we found one in the last year. He's really awesome, really shredder. So actually, Cody's filling in on vocals while I'm out here. Yeah. They played at home in a show on Friday in San Jose, and with DRI.
How'd you feel about that?
I don't know. I think I'm getting the boot. It sounds like it. I don't know. I think the paperwork's coming any day now.
Gosh.
I'm gonna have to get in the E-line.
They're gonna be like, Dad, you're busy. At least we gotta continue.
At least I have Exodus left, huh? Wow.
Well, you released two releases, two full-length records. And when I heard the records, I mean, I was like, wow, this is killer stuff.
Yeah, it's very much thrash metal, Bay Area thrash. It's got a lot of Exodus, Testament vein to it, definitely Death, Morbid Angel, any of those types of bands. Costa's very influenced by those types of things, and a typical lyrical approach like you get from me always, you know, very fiery, very fast, very angry, very exactly.
The ZETRO scream.
Very, you know, fucking wild, so sweet. That's what you get.
Okay, so as we end out, I want to thank you, sir, for sharing so much and giving us your goodwill for this interview. You know, we love you, man. We're glad you're back. We love Exodus. Cool. Any last words for the people in San Antonio or around the world who will see this interview?
Oh yeah, hey, all the people in San Antonio, thanks for supporting. It's going to be great tonight at the Aztec Theater. It's .com and look for the dates, because we are coming to a town to rape and murder your wife.
You ever been in the Aztec?
No, this is the first time.
Dude, this theater.
I walked in there today. We sound checked. It's beautiful.
I have an older brother who's about your age, and when I was like 7 or 8, he used to bring me to this theater to watch kung fu movies. They used to show kung fu movies here. Yeah.
Oh, how awesome that would be. Come to the Aztec to watch kung fu.
Yeah, so now we're back for the Dark Roots of Thrash tour. Thank you, ZETRO.
Thank you very much.
It's great to see you. We look forward to seeing you tear it up on stage only the way you can, man.
I will.
Remember, everyone, the new Exodus album is out right now. It's called Blood In, Blood Out. Be sure to go pick it up. You saw the man only on Rob's MetalWorks.